Sure. All right. So, okay. Okay. If someone is talking to me, I don't know what to tell you. Because I have no idea where you are. I'm like, are you on Picardo? Are you on Watch Me Work? Nah, you're not on YouTube. Like, dude, I have no idea where you are. Not unless you're trying to reach me through Facebook, and if that's the case, you're shit out of luck tonight. That's all I can say. I promised Hannah I would work on these pictures, so that's what I'm doing. Oh, yeah. Ah, chinga. Dude, come on. Why? Why? Because you got so many up, that's why. Not New York. I'm almost there. Alright. This is where I'm at. Can't see. Christina. Robin. There she is. That's Hannah. Isn't she gorgeous? She contacted me because, you know, she was like, oh, do you have the pictures? And I'm like, dude, I haven't even really worked on them yet. So, because it has to do with streaming, like I would really have to explain it. But basically, through Twitch, you can't stream nipples, even if they're boy nipples. So I was like, well, then I would only be able to stream through Watch Me Work. And then I was like, oh, there's another place that I can stream through too. So I went and signed up for that. And then I could turn off Twitch while I did these, because I hate to leave Hannah's lovely picture, but when I get further down into these, there were these fire breathing clowns. And as you can see, this particular gentleman has a fire whip. It was pretty awesome. But here's the thing. So let me find you one of my, I do love this picture, but let me find you one of the pictures that may have an issue. Where is it? Okay, he has his shirt on. So this is pretty early on because they're still kind of fully clothed. All right. Then you have to remember, I'm not working with a tripod, and the reason that I wasn't is because I learned a long time ago that unfortunately I didn't have a bag of beans either, but that was my mistake. I learned a long time ago that tripods and children don't mix. So I was pretty much working on having a steady hand, which is why when you shoot like that, you're always shooting on the exhale, because that's when your hand is at its steadiest. So it's not like I could really watch and enjoy the show as much as I was trying to concentrate on being steady. But like I said, see how this young man is right here? See where he took his shirt off? Well, on some of these pictures, you can like really see his shirt is off. And according to the rules at I don't even remember which one this is. According to the rules of Twitch, you cannot show nipples, and that's fair. You know, I don't really have a problem with that per se. It just means that I have to be more creative in what I do. That's all. You know what I mean? Like, I have to, you know, do whatever. And literally, you know, there was this lady who had issues. Now, understand that before this even started, I was standing there and I was taking a picture of the situation, and she came behind me and she was like, and there you go, see right here, one of my favorite pictures, and I would have never been able to do anything with it on as long as I was streaming through Twitch. So I haven't, have I worked on this yet? Reset it? No, I haven't worked on it yet. One of those really good shots that I got really, you know, like I was really concentrating on getting this shot. So, anyway, so there's this lady behind me, and I heard her say something incredibly nasty before she spoke to me directly. And I'm a person who believes that all people are not ignorant. I believe that most people are good in their heart. And she said something so nasty, and the way that she said it. And I heard her and I ignored her. Then she says something like they should know their place. And then she says to me, touches me and says to me, "Can you sit down because I cannot see?" Now, understand that I'm standing next to, if you look at these pictures, you know, people were standing up, sitting down, whatever. I was actually standing next to the lady who was there with a fire extinguisher. And she looked at me completely appalled. And I just looked at her and just did this little shake to my head like, you know, don't let that bother you. You know, you just ignore that. And I looked at her, and then I saw that she had a little girl. So I sat down. Not for her, but because she had a little girl. Now, having said that, you will run across all kinds of things when you go out there and shoot photographs. There's times when you will have battles, and there's times when you just learn to, you know, let things go, because the situation is so very temporary that it is not about escalating a situation. If I had allowed her to escalate it, then it would have ruined the night for me and several other people. And it's one of those like, you know, and you just let things go. Fortunately, it worked in my favor, because in all honesty, when you're out shooting in situations like this or in a crowd at all, they tell you to shoot from the hip. And because I was down on the ground, I was actually at hip level, so I was able to get some really cool shots. So see, being nice worked in my favor, or I wouldn't have been able to get this. There's 2 shots, well, 3 I had of the night that were my favorite that I would, put on DeviantArt. And that would be this shot. After I work on it a bit, but it's looking pretty good. This shot, the shot of Hannah, the young lady that contacted me and said, hey, do you have any pics? And I'm like, well, I have a couple. I was really particular. It looked like I was taking more pictures than I was. Usually I would just have the camera up and I would find a spot, and so that picture, this picture, if I can remember correctly, I do believe that this young man was a friend of Hannah's, and I think this is one of the pictures that she wants. I don't really have that many pictures of them, but like I said, the pictures that I did get, I got a couple of pretty nice ones. I was trying to catch pictures of her and her friends, but I didn't want to seem like a creeper because they were so enthusiastic. You know what I mean? You got to be kind of careful. People will look at you like, you're a weirdo. It's like, no, But look at her face. Look at that. Look at the expression. I wish that the light had been closer and it had been, I had been able to direct my camera exactly where I wanted it to go. The problem is that if I remember right, I do believe I was shooting on automatic, and the reason why is because the light was changing so fast. We're talking about sunset came, and then the fire pits were there, and then the lanterns were there, and the stage was flaring, so the lighting was changing all the time. And I would, if I decided to shoot that on manual, I'd have been taking a hell of a chance. I would have had to undershoot a lot of things, and my ISO was alright. It was at 800, but like I said, I am pretty sure that, let me see, maybe it'll tell me in the library. If I remember right, it should tell me whether or not I was shooting in automatic. I don't know, but in a situation like that, that is something that I surely would have done. Because when you, see, and I had to be, because I was aiming for her, but I got this instead. So she's not as clear as I would want her. I was definitely aiming for her eyes. Always try to get their eyes. But I'm telling you, when people see you taking pictures of them, they look at you like you're a creeper. So you gotta think about that. But anyway, she's a lovely girl. And that was pretty much how she imprinted on my head from this picture, and that's how I remembered who she was when she contacted me. I only referred to her as pretty girl in my head. I do believe that I lost an SD card out there, because I have other pictures that I took and I cannot find them, and I could not upload them because I could not find the card. So I'm pretty sure I lost it out there. But hey, it happens. It was dark, and I was an old lady and I was on the ground. And that's the way that happened. But I've been clearing this up, and you have to be careful when you use when you use the clarify on a human. You really do have to be careful. And the original picture of this is much, much bigger. See if it'll put the original up. Oh, no, it won't. Not without. I'm not recutting that. I'm so sorry, guys. I'm just going to be lazy about that whole thing. But anyway, I still want to do a little bit more on her face, as it's lovely. She's got a wonderful face. And God, I'd love to shoot that girl. Like, you know, hey, what are you doing on this fantastical sunset day? Because look at this. See how that looks really nice. See her cheekbones? You know, I'm complimenting her, and she could actually be listening to this thing right now. But I'm just saying, this is the truth. The size of her eyes, face is very symmetrical. So let's soften this up a little bit more without losing her eyes. I need to pull that up. What can I do here? You know what? It's like, what are you doing? You have so much crap up right now. Maybe if I highlight just some, yeah, it looks a little better. Take some of that black out of the blacks. Oh, look at this guy over his shoulder. I'd have to up the whites. Trying to up the white without. I'm trying to make her face look a little glowier. There it is. That's so much better. All right. And so now I'm gonna, and I like this. See that? That looks very, ooh, it goes straight down the line. I dig that a lot. It is unfortunate that I did not get that clear. Okay. There we go. A little bit more. Let's go back here again and up my whites just a little bit more. Okay. And I'd probably stop right there. I don't know. Let me see if I can, with that vignette, can I change that? Man. Really? Change that midpoint just a little bit. Now feather the hell out of it. I guess. No. Leave it alone. Nah, it was fine. Really. God, what am I gonna do? I'm so limited right now. No. I like the glow better. Right there. That's nice. I mean, I could put it back in, but I just, right here. I don't know. I think that's a little too much. There we go. I'm really just fascinated with that shot. It's just driving me insane that it is not as precise as it could be. That will bother me throughout all eternity. It'll just get to me. It's like, no. But, really, that's fear. You know what I mean? Like, you're moving pretty fast. And it's one of those, like, you never really know when you're shooting how people are reacting to you shooting them. It's like the best I could say. Ho ho, that's right, that's super bright. Let me bring my little fella over here out of the shadows. There we go. See it much better. And I think that's the same kid. I don't know. Okay. Let's see. It's in that one and that one. Robin. Alright, so let's get down here to them releasing the lanterns. Let's see what I've got here. I will come back and work on these. I just want to see what I can find. And concerning Hannah and her buds, so that she can have them. I feel horrible because I had completely forgotten. If you haven't been to the Lantern Festival here in Fayetteville, North Carolina, you should go. It's really nice. It's out at this little racetrack. And I think this is like, I don't know how long they've been doing it. They have not been doing it for very long. But it's getting to be pretty popular. This is actually the one that was on Watch Me Work. It had been critiqued, and I really need to come back and work on this and go back over the critique that I was given for it, and then initiate all of the things that they said. Here is the problem with that. So I had Adobe Photoshop a long time ago, but once they put in that new Adobe where you had to go online and you had to work from there, my Adobe decided to act a fool and not really work anymore. And I can't really blame Adobe for that, because I've changed my computer a billion times because my husband builds them. So stuff gets lost and things get messed up all the time. It just happens. So anyway, like I said, I was trying to work in Adobe and it just was like acting a fool. So then I downloaded GIMP, but I don't know how to use it. I hadn't used my pen in a long time. I hadn't set up my whole studio thing in a long time. I had been really lazy because I had Photoshop, because I had Lightroom. And Lightroom, yeah, you could kind of go off the deep end and do stuff in here, and I probably will, just to show you guys, like, yeah, you could do this or you could do that. That's like messing around with these right here. Yeah, you can do a lot. But like I said, I didn't know how to use GIMP. and I downloaded it, so I had to start watching videos to learn how to use that. I also, let's see, I also downloaded Inkscape, and I've been watching videos on that, and it's a lot like Adobe Illustrator, but it seems to be pretty interesting. I'll probably try those pretty soon. So anyway, like I said, I've been trying to learn different programs, and it's been taking me a while because, you know, it's not the same. I've been trying to set this up for streaming because I didn't know how. And I'm still learning, still trying to figure it out. So that's where I'm at. Now, I don't know if you know anything about shooting in the dark, but let me explain to you why I say that you're not taking pictures of things, you're taking pictures of light. Okay. A camera is not a human eye. It kind of works like one, but it's not. So basically, you've got this photosensitive, I'll just use the word film right now, but it's almost like if you leave something out in the sun and you lay something down on top of it, and it'll have the shape of whatever it is you laid down on top of it, and the rest of it faded away. Well, photography kind of works like that. So it's dark outside, okay? And I told the camera, well, hey, you know, it's dark as hell, so I'm going to need you to put on your night vision and try to see what's going on. And the camera's like, well, you know, I'll try. But understand that how fast the camera is blinking its eye to take a picture and how much light it is for it to see. These two things go together. If the camera blinks its eye too fast in the dark, it doesn't see anything. And the darker it is, etc., etc. Do you see what I'm saying? So this is enough light for the camera to see, sort of, which is why you have this detail. Let's see if I can find you a really good one. I'll probably end up going back to the clowns, but the more light there is on a subject in the dark, the clearer the camera can see because of the sensitivity. Also keep in mind that a lot of your cell phone cameras are really sensitive in the dark. Not all of them, but a lot of them. So you can usually nowadays get some pretty decent pics in the dark. Now getting back to this, so like I said, remember when I was saying like the light keeps changing? Well, if you look over here, this will tell you what the ISO is, and that's basically it's like, you know, turning on its night vision, kind of. How sensitive it has to be able to let the light apply itself to the picture, because really, let me turn this into black and white. Okay. And then I'm gonna turn up the blacks to make this like black as hell. All right. So basically, what you're looking at is, as you can see, you're looking at light, okay, and on a black surface. Well, the camera's pretty much, that's what it's seeing. It's not taking pictures of things. It's taking pictures of this light. So what I just did was make it very simplistic for you to observe what the camera's doing. It sees this, okay? And then when you add its ability to see color, which is different wavelengths of light, because light does have different wavelengths. I mean, I can't say that everyone would know that, but I do know that it's like in physical science class pretty much, but I'm not sure. Anyway, so this is what the camera sees. Now, when people move, to catch movement, the camera shutter needs to shut really fast to freeze movement. It has to close fast as hell. But remember what I said. If it closes fast as hell at night, then it can't see anything. Do you see what I'm saying? Even if you have its pupil dilated, which is your aperture, which is why you have a wide angle lens at night. If you have that wide open, that's just one thing. You know, it's just like if the light is on in the room, but, you know, the speed, your shutter speed is how fast basically the camera's blinking its eye to catch that picture. So if you really want to know what I'm talking about, what you do is you look at a light source and then blink your eyes like 3 times, move your head a little bit, keep your eyes closed, and you'll see the imprint of whatever that light source is on your eyelids. Well, your camera works pretty much just like that. So some things like, you know, this is pretty cool and everything, but if I had a tripod, it'd have been even better. But like I said, do you see all these little tripod breakers running around? No? Oh man, let me tell you. They were all over the place. Okay? And I know some that have been just more than happy to make a mistake, because in a situation like that, you know, there's not much you can do. What are you going to do? Get mad at a little kid for being a little kid? Look at that. This is what I'm dealing with out there. You think I'm going to take $100 tripod out there with people like that? I mean, look. You know, these are happy people. They're busy. They're children. And children run around and they do baby things. So you can't get, you know, mad at a child for being a child. You know, what you do is you act like the responsible adult and you don't put yourself in that situation. Could I get perfect shots? No, I could not. But I did have some fun. Had a lot of fun. I watched all these people have fun. And this was really, really nice. It's beautiful when they release these things. Like, it's gorgeous. I think everybody out there was trying to take pictures of it. It was just that amazing. And I'm pretty sure that some of them got some really good pictures, because I was looking, as you can see. I could observe and see that, you know, some of them got some really amazing shots because of the sensitivity of their cameras. So the difference between my camera and your camera, software has changed a lot of things. So I really couldn't tell you unless I saw the specs of your camera, what's going on your phone. But cameras are pretty, it's pretty interesting. I was out taking pictures of, I went to the fair. I like to take long exposure, you know. Still trying to decide how to do it. Now, ideally, see how this kid did not move. This is what I was talking about. See how this kid didn't move? All right. Ideally, you would have a situation where you could, obviously I had a tripod, okay, where you could take pictures and, you know, you don't have to worry about these little people being little people. Well, I went out there specifically to do that, and I was moving pretty fast though. And it was because of me going out there and me tripping all over the little ones is when I had to make my decision about the Lantern Festival. I was like, nah, I won't be taking the tripod for that. It's not a good idea. Okay. Let's go back to what I'm doing.